All right, now I want to talk to you about syncing automatically in Premiere, or using Premiere to help us sync audio and video. It's not very sophisticated, but it does speed things along as long as you are organized. Cool, so here's our project shed bodies, here's our assets, footage and sound, and it's a very simple project. There's four video clips, four audio clips, and they coincide on a 1-to-1 ratio. This audio clip goes with this video clip, this audio clip goes with this video clip, and so on. The numbering isn't aligned, right? Here's 7, 8, and it goes to 7. That's totally okay, as long as I know that they are in order. I can rename these if I want. This project is so tiny, it's not necessary, but if you start building larger and larger projects, I would definitely break these. If you work this route, I would break these into scenes, so you can stay very organized. Trying to sync an entire project's worth, multiple day shoot through Premiere is going to be a nightmare. And so you could imagine that instead of this being a whole project, perhaps this is just a scene in a larger project. All right, so let's go over to Premiere. I'm going to start a new project. I'm going to call this one Shed Bodies. That's what it's called. Going to navigate to the Shed Bodies folder and choose that as location. So I know I'm super organized. If I flip back to the Finder, I can collapse these and I can see here's my project folder Shed Bodies, there's my Premiere project file, and then here's all the assets that I need. So speaking of the assets, let's select them and bring them in. So I'm going to drag them from the Finder into the project window in Premiere and let go. Cool. So I know that I'm going to use all 4 of these clips and all 4 of these audio clips. So the fastest way to start building a sequence would be to select my video folder and just drop it into the timeline window. Great, now we have a sequence with all the video clips in it. But I can see that the sequence name is footage. That was based off of the folder that I started it with. So I'm going to change this right away to Shed Bodies, and I'm going to work with versioning up. So I'm going to call this Shed Bodies.01. Great. So Shed Bodies.01 is here. Now I do know, like I said earlier, that I have an audio clip for each of these video clips. So I'm just going to drag this folder and drop it like that. Cool, so that I know these belong together, these belong together, these belong together, and these belong together. But I also know that right now, it's obvious, they're not synced up, right? None of this looks like it goes together. But what I did do is I synced with a clap, right? We talked about that earlier. Well, how Premiere syncs is it looks at the audio waveform of this video clip and the audio waveform of this audio clip, and it lines them up. It's just not super sophisticated because it could only do one video and audio pair at a time. So if I select just one pair at a time and I right click, I can select synchronize. And there's a few different ways we could synchronize. We could synchronize by the clip start or the clip end. Neither of those would be accurate for us. We could synchronize using timecode. We did not use timecode. So we'll select this option here, synchronize using audio. Hit OK, thanks for a bit, and there we go. These clips are now synchronized. Now remember, this clip I did not clap on, so it would be hard to manually synchronize, but we could have Premiere do it for us. Great. This clip I forgot to clap also. Awesome. And this clip, where are we? Cool. So it's not always accurate though. These guys lined up, you could see the clap lined up great. Make that a little bit taller. And I know that these are synced because I tried it earlier, but these here, we've got a clap right here, and unfortunately, the clap is right here. So I don't know what threw Premiere off so bad, but even though we said automatically synchronize, it did not do it accurately. And so that's why I would always suggest having a clap in there to really sync things up. Great. Now I know that these are all synced up, and before I start jumping in and working on my edit, to save this as sort of like a backup copy, I'm going to version up my sequence. I'm going to right click on my sequence, select duplicate, and change this from .01 to .02. And then if I double click on this, it opens in the timeline viewer. I'm going to close this one just so I don't get mixed up. Cool, so here's shed bodies.02. I'm going to change the in and out points using the trim tool, just so these are all aligned to the available content. Great. And I know that this shot here actually narratively comes here, so I'm going to move these two real quick. Cool. Now I've got a very rough assembly cut of my project. I see I've got two shots, two versions of the same shot. I got to pick which one I like more. But this sort of rough assembly cut here that we got going, I'm going to save that also. So now I'm going to version up this sequence and select duplicate. Change this one to .03 and open it. And maybe here in this one, this is where I'll come in and unlink all of these audio and video, because I don't need any of this on-camera audio. Delete that. Just to keep things tidy, push this up to audio 1. So now I've got video clips. They're not edited, they're just very roughly trimmed, but video clips that are synced up to external audio. This is a fantastic dual system setup here. And if at any point I really mess up this edit, say I'm like, oh geez, somehow these got really unsynced, right? That's bad news. I can always go back to a previous version of my sequence and sort of copy paste what I had messed up. Right? So that's why I like to version up with my sequences, so that there's no painting myself into a corner, as it were. Great.